Let's get right into it. Number 10. Drinking the dead. Picture yourself dragging forward where gunfire once thundered, but now only silence remains. Water gone, rations vanished, only corpses around, and thoughts you wish would fade. Long ago, soldiers learned heat exhaustion strikes harder than guilt. They turned to grim solutions, fluids taken from fresh dead comrades. Sipping blood, mixing stale urine with whatever moisture clung inside helmets. Safe? Not close. But survival often arrived before consequences could catch up. Survival ignores pride. When water runs low, thinking clearly becomes impossible. Choices narrow to anything wet that won't burn you. Early humans did not understand germs, yet they could tell immediate death from a risk delayed. Given the chance, nerves favor waiting over collapse. Water makes up most of blood, plus salts and proteins the body knows well. It's strange how something so vital can also feed harmful germs without warning. People long ago had no way to see tiny threats floating inside. Their logic followed need, not lab results, using what was at hand. Think of it like drinking rust mixed with memory. Rough on the stomach, harder on the mind. When supplies run low, instinct takes over fast. Suddenly, ethics feel like a luxury you can't afford. It's not about turning evil. It's about being an animal that just needs water. Survival changes the game without asking. Number 9. Eating leather. Boiling old gear wasn't unusual back then. People had no fridges, no markets nearby. Straps from horses? Tossed in the pot. Belts or boots? Same fate. This mush wouldn't taste good, obviously. Still, it kept someone alive once or twice. Your shoes today are safe, thanks to supermarkets showing up centuries later. Boiling collagen long changes it into gelatin, found in leather's base material. When there's gelatin inside, the stomach stays busy even if calories are low. That activity softens hunger cues instead of letting them scream nonstop. A quiet signal means less alarm running through the body. Feeling filled, even slightly, tells the mind survival isn't at risk right now. Time stretches a bit when panic stays away. Hunger doesn't start in the gut, it hijacks the mind first. That gnawing feeling? A red alert telling you tomorrow might not come. Chewing on old boots did nothing to feed anyone. But it quieted the panic long enough to keep moving. Back then, living wasn't about growing strong. Staying alive meant fooling yourself past collapse. Just once again. Here's the thing, some current survival guides actually suggest doing this exact move. They now call it emergency nutrient harvesting, which beats saying you're gnawing on gear. Number 8. Sleeping sitting up. Lying down could mean death if you were hurt, unwell, or cold. Ancient folks found that out fast. They chose to rest while seated instead. Leaning on tree trunks, perched on stone ledges, bound in place with cords. Comfort wasn't the goal. Staying alive was. If strength slips away, staying horizontal might let blood pressure fall too far, make each breath harder, even drain warmth until what began with injury ends completely. Upright posture opens air pathways, supports steady flow of blood to the head, while lowering risks of choking, cooling too much, or slipping into stillness without notice. Your mind suddenly starts acting like it wants to help. When tiredness should lay you flat, high alert bends what's possible. Part of your nerves refuses to shut off, caring more about staying upright than resting. Rest does not happen, instead you run on idle, watching over yourself like a silent post. Strange how it works. When staying alive matters most, all that advice about ideal sleep positions fades away. Fancy beds, special cushions, none of it holds weight anymore. Faced with collapse, people endure awkward standing naps without complaint. Survival reshapes what discomfort even means. Falling asleep back then wasn't really about feeling refreshed. It was staying alive while lying down. Number 7. Drinking salt water. On purpose. Water with salt pulls fluid out of your body, you are aware of that. What your kidneys think. They do not like it one bit. Long ago seafarers understood the risk. Still, they sipped small drops now and then, timing each mouthful like a secret ritual. Certain because so many others before them vanished into thin air after bad calculations. Your body has a hidden move. Extreme thirst? Not only missing water, but losing vital salts too. Sweat hard, lose blood, or throw up enough your sodium plummets. Sipping slightly thin seawater might briefly keep nerves firing and muscles moving, even while pulling you deeper into fluid deficit. Like borrowing strength from tomorrow. Pay the price afterward if there is one. When pressure builds, the mind quits chasing wellness. It grabs whatever works. Not perfect balance, just pulse, breath, spark. Sodium buys a moment. A stretch of time where movement stays possible. Where darkness doesn't pull you under. Painful how it twists. That stuff today's manuals yell to dodge? People once dosed themselves on purpose like gambling with a slow burn through the veins. Back then, staying alive meant rolling dice made of herbs and toxins. Number 6. Burning wounds shut. Survival meant facing strangers holding bright metal, their eyes too sure. Fire played a big role back then in healing. When arrows came out, flames sealed the cuts right after. Heat touched broken skin, believed to wipe out sickness, even if it didn't always work. Oddly enough, it actually succeeded far more than logic allows. Heat closes off blood vessels by charring flesh on contact. This blocks deadly bleeding, a common killer. Germs on the skin get wiped out too. True, the method shreds healthy tissue and brings agony so sharp it feels ancient, yet somehow keeps someone alive when they'd otherwise bleed to death fast. Surprisingly, survival wins once in a while. Your mind sees unbearable agony as a deal worth accepting. Being hurt tells you that you are still breathing. Then comes numbness, chemicals surge through, and signals slow down so you do not black out. Relief arrives in cruel doses. What strikes fear today isn't outdated thinking, it's how we've simply swapped old tools for electric ones. Bright beams, numbing drugs. Back then, caution wasn't missing. Survival drove every move. Faced with pain or death, pain becomes the path taken. That decision, it holds weight even now. Number 5. Eating clay. This might seem made up until you learn that different old societies all did the same thing. Facing sickness from bad food, worms, or not enough to eat, they turned to clay. Not metaphorically. Real earth. Picked with care, yes, but just soil in the end. Built into some clays is a knack for grabbing harmful things inside your intestines, blocking their escape into circulation. Picture digestion using it like a mop, soaking up trouble, then sweeping it away. Not food, yet keeps your body from draining essential resources quicker than they return. Strange, really, how the mind works here. When hungry, most people act without thinking, rush into things. Eating clay meant holding back, watching closely, remembering what elders said. Not chaos at all, more like quiet wisdom that never wore a white coat. Here's a twist. Today's gut medicines work much like old remedies did. Capsules replace mud, though really it's similar stuff. Those ancient fixes? Hardly foolish. Just lacked labels. When things inside you start breaking down, maybe the answer lies in tasting soil plus believing what old ones knew. Number 4. Letting maggots eat you. Picture how odd it must have seemed. Doctors today sometimes let bugs stay in open sores. Long ago, caregivers saw a strange thing. Injuries crawling with larvae often got well faster than those kept spotless. That discovery changed their minds on cleaning them out. Healthy tissue stays untouched while maggots consume only what is lifeless. Infection drops because decay stops, recovery speeds up. Secretions from these creatures fight harmful microbes. Though early humans had no clue about that, they saw survival rise without understanding why. When your mind spots a pattern, it sticks. No reasons required, only what works matters. A nasty creature in an open cut? If people live anyway, that odd detail becomes treatment. Survival rewards outcomes, not logic. Here's the truth. Maggots clean wounds in today's hospitals just like before. Old methods worked because people watched closely. Pain taught harsh lessons. Clean setups now mean fewer cries. Survival shaped those early fixes. They were careful guesses born from suffering. Funny thing about biology, survival ignores looks. All that matters is whether power keeps flowing. Number 3. Drinking urine strategically. This thing here? Yes. Not anything like what films show. Back then, drinking yourself into sorrow just for kicks never happened. Survival meant waiting it out, watering things down, recognizing when your system hadn't given up yet. Water makes up most fresh pee, along with leftover urea and minerals your system pushed out. When starting to get dehydrated, sipping some might briefly help until waste builds up past safe limits. That chance closes fast. Wait too long, you're feeding poison into an empty tank. Get the timing right, though, and awareness stays online a little longer. Frozen in danger, your mind turns sharp, focused only on what keeps you alive. Not whether it feels wrong, just if it works. When fluids drip in and pressure holds steady, revulsion fades like a radio signal lost in static. That gut reaction, pushed aside by ancient wires behind heroic strength. In crisis, who you are shifts without warning. It's strange how this method functions just when it seems least necessary. When fluid loss reaches a critical point, your body's output grows too thick to be useful. This odd fix ends up helping those who aren't yet on the edge. The harsh truth? Survival sometimes favors the less desperate. Long ago, existence played by brutal rules. Your system might allow heavy drinking, provided the numbers seem right to it. Number 2. Staying awake on purpose. Sleep deprivation is torture. Ancient people used it on enemies. They also used it on themselves to survive. When hypothermia, injuries, or predators were a threat, people forced themselves to stay awake for days. Sleep lowers body temperature, reduces muscle tone, and shuts down awareness. That's great in a bed. Fatal in the wilderness. Your brain has a built-in emergency override called stress arousal. Cortisol and adrenaline flood your system, keeping you alert far beyond normal limits. Hallucinations creep in, reaction time collapses, and reality starts buffering. But you're still moving, still watching, still alive. Ancient survival wasn't about functioning well. It was about functioning at all. People accepted madness as a side effect of living through the night. And the brain agreed. It would rather you see imaginary things than stop breathing. The irony is painful. Modern life celebrates sleep optimization. Ancient life treated sleep like a luxury you earned after not dying. Your brain will gladly sacrifice sanity to keep the body running one more shift. Number 1. Pretending to be dead. This wasn't just a trick, it was a skill. In ancient warfare and animal encounters, people learned that not moving, not reacting, and even slowing their breathing could make threats lose interest. Predators key in on movement. So do human attackers looking for resistance. The nervous system can trigger a freeze response so powerful it mimics death. Heart rate drops. Muscles go limp. Pain dulls. Consciousness narrows. This isn't cowardice. It's biology deploying the oldest cheat code it has. If they think I'm already dead, I don't need to fight. And terrifyingly often it worked. The psychological cost was immense. Survivors described feeling detached from their bodies, watching themselves from outside. That dissociation wasn't a bug. It was armor. Your brain stepping away from the trauma while your body played possum. Modern trauma research recognizes this as a survival response, not weakness. Ancient people just called it staying alive. And that's the theme here. Survival doesn't look heroic. It looks uncomfortable, disgusting, painful, and deeply weird. But it works. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.